I once asked a group of people what was the best way to win an argument. And one person said, "You can't, because nobody wins an argument." And they were right. Nobody wins an argument. Oh, you might get your point across, but at what cost? Here's the thing. You might win the argument, but you might lose a friend. As we look at the life of Jesus, we don't see him getting into arguments. Now, there are times when he does confront the Pharisees, but even then, they could see that while his words were tough, that he deeply cared about their salvation. Now, I can't help but wonder how many arguments could be avoided in the church if we simply took the time to make sure the other person knew that we love them. I think that would go a long way to avoiding fights and arguments. Okay, so we want to avoid fights and arguments, and I can think we all agree on that. So what do you do when you differ with somebody about what the Bible has to say, especially about Jesus? Can I suggest you do what Jesus did? First, stay calm. The moment you become angry or upset, people stop listening to each other. And that brings me to the second thing Jesus did. He always took the time to listen to what people really had to say. People know that they matter to you when you drop what you're doing and you take the time to listen. Something else Jesus did was that he asked questions. Jesus didn't accuse people or label them or attack their character because they differed with him. What Jesus did was that he asked questions. Questions are a great tool to help clarify what it was that people really believed. Once people believe that you really listened to them, to what they had to say, they're more likely to listen to what, you have to say. This is the one thing I wish more people would do. Instead of judging and condemning others who don't think or act like we do, ask them questions. Ask them why they think and behave the way they do. You might be surprised by what you hear. And lastly, Jesus always took people back to the Bible. Think about this. Jesus is greater than the Bible. I mean, you know this, right? He is the source of all truth. He inspired the Bible. He could have simply asked and said, take it on my authority. After all, I'm God. But he did the one thing that even the religious leaders couldn't argue with, and that was the Bible. Everything we need for truth is right there in the Bible. So if Jesus tells us the Bible contains truth, then maybe we should read it as often as we can and let it tell us what to believe. Well, again, that was our nugget for today. Thank you for stopping by. I'll see you tomorrow.